Hey guys, what's going on, and welcome back to the channel. Quite a productive day actually. I was on Facebook right around lunchtime and was able to finally find what was it? I think it was Marketplace or one of their groups, whatever. Was actually able to find a sport bumper right here in my hometown, so I was pretty happy about that. It is black and only $130, might I add. So I offered him $120. He said he had $115 in it, and that's all he wanted out of it. It is basically a sport bumper. You know, it has some scuffs. There's no major cracks in it. Right over here on this bottom side, it has a small crack in it right here. We'll get that addressed before I'd get it scuffed and painted. Probably just bring that down and reinforce it from the back. Use some small stainless bolts or something, because I am going to paint it and color match it to the truck. That dimple there is because of them damn outer supports that rot out all the time. The other side is rotted just like this side, so just need to grab a couple of supports. They have those. LMC Truck has them, Amazon has them, eBay has them. There's quite a few places that actually sells those supports, so that'll be a pretty easy find. I don't actually have it, do it this way, I don't actually have it bolted in place. I just have it sitting there so I can kind of get an idea, so make sure I'm going to like it. I know I'm going to like it once it's color matched. Of course, right now it sticks out like a sore thumb because it's black. And then I also got to see, it does have the lights in it. I don't know if these bulbs are any good or not, so we need to check those. My truck actually has two spots where it plugs in. It has that spot right up there on the frame, and then there's another spot on the other side. So I don't know, since my truck wasn't actually a sport, it had these small little lights in them here, or here, I can't remember. I think they're in here from the factory. And there's some paint flaking off there, so we're gonna wanna make sure and strip this really well before we paint it. I believe they're in here from the factory on the regular chrome bumpers. I don't know if those run a plug on either side, so and then grabs power that way. But we'll just have to check it out. The way those come on, I'm sure you guys know, is from this switch here. You just turn it and pull it. Is all there is to it. And we'll see if that even has power down there. I don't know, because my cubes were wired directly to the battery. So on the Caddy, I did talk to a company out of California, Associated Fuel Injection, and the same company that rebuilt the VP pump on my truck several years ago. So I wanted to give them a call, and I had a few questions for them. They sounded like it possibly could be a delivery valve issue within the pump itself, just because of the time. I mean, the truck didn't get driven a lot before I purchased it, and from the time it went from the old owner to that owner to me. So they said, you know, the O-rings in there could have been dry rotted, or they could have just rotted in time, and now everything is coming loose and not going in my favor. So I don't know if something could possibly be stuck in there too. So I did put some extreme diesel in there, diesel extreme from Hot Shots, and see if that will possibly take care of it, and also put some fresh fuel in there. I know that the gentleman had told me, and I think I mentioned this last night, he was running a 50-50 blend of used oil and diesel fuel. So that, I've never really heard of that. That can't be very clean within your engine. So he, I don't know if this tank has it in it or not. So we're just going to put some fresh fuel in it, put some diesel extreme in there, and see if that hopefully takes care of it also. And maybe that will clear up the issue. But for now, we do have a sticky pump. Like I said, they also mentioned too about injectors. I just have a hard time believing it could be injectors, just because your injectors get their fuel from the pump. And I guess I'm using logic in my head. I could be completely all wet in that, but I don't know. Like I said, your injectors get their fuel from the pump. I don't think the injectors would have stored fuel in them to be able to continue to, you know, idle up like that. It will run away on me. But what I was able to do today, driving it back and forth to work, was use the engine to pull them RPMs down. So to do it that way. And as I'm coming up to it, what I mean is when I'm coming up to a stop sign, a stoplight, I just let off the accelerator and let it come to a coasting stop before I actually you know, engage the brake. So that worked out well. I was able to stop like that every single time, and was able to keep the RPMs down. But as soon as I would just give it gas, you know, with the clutch in, the engine would continue to climb. So we're gonna have to get that taken care of. The 27th of April is vastly approaching. I need to get it back in the garage here and get the front end taken care of as far as the strut cups. Like I showed you last night, these are from Fast Bunny. I need to get these installed with the new struts. Or I'm sorry, new struts. The new coilovers are in from Raceland down there in the box. I got a timing belt. I've got side marker lights. I've got front brakes. I've got license plate lights I need to put on. There's just so many little things that I need to do to the Caddy to get it ready for the 27th that I hope I'm able to do. I'm hoping to, what I'm going to do with all these little spots here where all these damn snaps are, I'm not going to fill these with hod. I'm going to go around with my welder. I'm going to get me a nice clean area, and I'm just going to tack all these holes closed and then grind them flat. If I need to put a little bit of icing on them, which is just a thin layer of Bondo, basically they call it icing, that's the way I want to do it. I really don't want to sit there and mix up some mud and fill every one of those holes. Now these on the plastic, these light or tail light surrounds, these are plastic, so I do have 3 in these corners that I'm going to have to fill those, unfortunately, and take care of it that way. I saw kind of a neat little thing when they fill these, since it's just a small little hole to give it a little bit of a surface area. They took a cutoff tool and ran, whether you want an X, you know, or they ran on theirs, they ran basically a plus sign. They ran it down this way, just maybe about a 1/4 inch above and below the hole, and then a 1/4 inch each side of the hole, and that give it just a little bit more surface area for that mud to stick into. I will hit that with some Bondo first, or some Duraglass or something like that before I hit it with the icing, just to give it a nice, I don't know, I'm not no body man, just to give it you know, a good coat and thick, just to make sure it holds good, if that's the correct terminology. I'm not a body man. I can do it, but I have no idea really what I'm doing other than filling that hole right there. And yes, I can paint too, but I hate body work. I would rather paint all day long than do body work on any of these vehicles. That's why I really don't want to tackle doing my truck myself. I may when I do the bumper and grill, I may take the hood off and take care of that myself, because that's something I can bring in here in the garage and set it on sawhorses and do it that way. But other than that, also I have a guy coming from Yorkville, Illinois to pick up this 4th gen bumper. He should be here just about any minute, and he wanted it. He doesn't want the grill. He just wanted the 4th gen bumper, the cubes, and the conversion brackets. But I sent him some pictures. I showed him the scuffs on the other side, and he said he'll just have to do just a little bit of work to it, but he's fine with it because he's actually going to be wrapping the truck anyway. And I think he just pulled up here, so I believe that's him backing in the driveway with the Duramax. So we're going to take care of that, and we'll be back. All right, he just left. Very nice gentleman. He ended up taking it with him. I was able to get out of it what I wanted. He paid for it what he wanted to pay for it, and life is good. So now I've got just a little bit of extra cash to finish up my sport front end. So I'm pretty happy with that. Going to go in and get the outer brackets ordered for the sport bumper. And also get the grill ordered. He did not want the grill So that actually worked out pretty good in my favor, because that way I can retain the grill bracket itself. So life is actually pretty good tonight. Everything worked out today. You know, he always has other plans. If one thing does not work out, it's for a reason. So man works in mysterious ways, let me tell you. So I guess if it doesn't work out one time, be patient. Patience is something that I really don't have much of. Like I said, if it doesn't work out, be patient, because that man upstairs, he's got other plans for you that will work out even better for you. So anyways, you know, actually one thing that I thought was kind of ironic is this gentleman, the reason he stopped by here from Yorkville, Illinois, is because he is actually on his way to Mount Vernon, Ohio, and that's the same place that I need to send this injection pump, if I so choose to go that way, for the caddy there. So I asked him, I said if he wanted to take a pump with him on his way over there. So kind of got a chuckle out of that. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I am thrilled that I was able to make the contacts that I made today, meet the gentleman that purchased the 4th gen bumper, and also pick up my sport bumper for my truck. Completely thrilled. So if you are, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not already done so, and we'll talk to you guys later on. Bye bye.